Mr. Drew asks, have you played Atari today?
Kiara Lima has your sports.
And Yasmin Tawaru has your weekend weather forecast. I'm Dana Shan.
And I'm LaShawn Allen. We're your pilots.
And this is your morning flight.
Deacon John explains to Robert how as we begin a new school year, God gives us the grace to accept and get over our failures and gives us the strength to take on the challenge of a new school year.
Good morning, Cardinal Spellman, and welcome to a brand new era of What's It All About. I'm your host, Robert Hernandez, and I'm chilling right here with my man, Deacon John. And of course, today is sports day, so I gotta hop out with the Mets attire, as you know. So in case for all you freshmen, most likely, who don't know what's it all about, we take questions that either Deacon John or Mr. Drew have made up, and we're gonna give you an answer regarding Catholic history or aspects of the Catholic faith. As a matter of fact, why don't we get into today's question? So, Deacon, as a student of Cartersville High School, I'm one of the people who struggle with dealing with failures and having to deal with shortcomings because there are times when we succeed and there will be times that we fail, but it's going to be tough to accept all those failures. So, today's question is, how does the grace of God help us to deal with these failures and these disappointments? And how can they prepare us for the challenges for the coming year? What's that all about?
It's dirty. Robert, what do I got here?
Bag of sand?
Well, it's actually dirt. Okay, sorry, because it looks like sand because it doesn't have much color to it, right? So basically, what is dirt?
Soil of the earth.
Well, it's basically pulverized rock and sand together. That's what dirt is. Okay, what grows in dirt? Trees. Nothing. Has no nutrients. It's sand and pulverized rock. There's no nutrients in here. If I planted a seed in here, even if I watered it, there's no nutrients for it to grow. It's useless. Okay? Now, what do I have here?
Actual soil.
Soil, yes. And what is soil? Soil is composed of sand, pulverized rock, but also dead stuff. Dead organic material. Okay? It's dead organic material. Now, when I put a seed in here, it uses that once alive, right? Even though it could have been something nasty, like a fly or a leech, you know, something really nasty for you, something that could hurt you, like a venomous snake, right? But now it's broken down and becomes part of the soil. Now I put that seed in there and it grows maybe into something you can eat or a beautiful flower. So how does God's grace help us that? Well, He gives us the virtue of temperance, okay, or moderation. When we take all those things that we know that led us astray and we kill them. We kill them and we bury them. And once that happens, we start anew, we have something new put into that, and it's just like a plant that comes up because it's using that dead organic material, the stuff you're not going to do anymore, and help you grow into the person that you should be.
Ooh, we don't need to drop that. That could be used for another object lesson. That's incredibly good to know. That could help a lot of us in the future, especially me.
So get rid of all the old things that you knew was wrong, okay? And guess what? Bury them, get rid of them, and start anew because you're ready to go. With that stuff, knowing that it's not going to help you.
It's good. All those bad things are going to help you.
Kill them. You got to kill them so that they grow.
Yeah, all right. That was good to know. Well, thank you for joining us on another segment of What's It All About. We'll be back next episode with a brand new question. Till then, I'm Robert Hernandez. That's Deacon John. Fly high, pilots.
Thanks, Deacon John and Robert. Robert is also our flow director here on Morning Flight. Let's get into news. This past Tuesday, Cardinal Spellman High School was evacuated and eventually the students were dismissed. Initially, there was some confusion among the students and faculty as to what exactly was happening. Mr. O'Keefe, president of the school, explained the entire situation to the students at an assembly the next day and to the parents of seniors at an information night.
So about 9:30 yesterday morning, a secretary answered the phone, someone who didn't identify themselves, and it was an anonymous caller. That's what came up on the screen. but the gentleman said that he had hostages and he was going to blow them up, and basically hung up after that. Well, she actually asked him to repeat it because she couldn't believe what she was hearing. So we immediately sent our security team out around the building. We knew nothing of hostages or anything like that, but we always want to be most cautious, so we took our security guards. You should know we have 3 full-time security guards who work on our staff here at Spelman. Concurrent to that, we did have somebody call 911 and explain the situation, what happened to them. And I give credit to the NYPD. They came almost immediately. We had officers here right away, and they told us, we just want to do a sweep of the building, but we don't want to scare the kids, so please just do a fire drill. It'll take you 10 minutes. We can walk through the building, and then you can bring the kids back in. And we thought that would pretty much be the end of it for the day. As you're well aware, that was not the end of it for the day. So we send the kids out on a fire drill, and before they can come back in, the commanding officer from the 47th Precinct, or one of the commanding officers, I don't know if it was actually the head officer, but he said, you know what, don't let them in yet. I want to do a little bit more. And my understanding is that every time someone showed up who was the boss of the person who was there before, he did a little bit more and wanted a little bit more precaution taken. And I don't begrudge the police department for doing this, but it did get to the point, for those of you who saw any of the clips on TV or came to pick up your child, there had to be 12 or 15 different emergency vehicles around. And, you know, I don't want to say it was overkill, but it was certainly a very high level response. When I saw the helicopter looking at our roof, I thought, you know, this is obviously something more serious. Concurrent with all of that, Ms. Faulkner and I also realized we have to let the parents know something. Now, we expected to be back at our computers and our phones within 5 minutes or 10 minutes of this and send something out. But we were able to get a notice out for those who are in constant contact. Now, please, if you didn't get a notice yesterday, that means you're not in our system. So please just contact one of us in the administration and let us know your contact information so you can put into that. And we will be adding cell phone numbers to that, because right now most people are doing it by email. So the chain of command just kept moving up. Obviously, things got a little bit hectic in one corner of the building. We always do a fire drill in 4 sections. The students go into each of the 4 exits of the building. But in one of those, a student decided to say, run, run, something's up, or scare the other students. And that caused a little bit of havoc, a little bit of panic, and there were a couple of girls who fell down. Of course, girl falls down, hurts her knee, swelling. The news starts to report, you know, there's a bomb scare at Cardinal Spelman High School, injuries reported, you know, which just hypes up the negativity and the sensationalism of it. And we all know, you know, hindsight is 20/20. We look back at what we did. Obviously, as administration, we're going to change some of the things we did. We appreciate everybody's advice in doing that. But the main point I guess I'm trying to make is a 5-minute fire drill turned into a 5-hour evacuation drill. We have very specific protocols for an evacuation drill. And if the police department told us we were doing an evacuation drill, things would have been handled completely differently. And I also mentioned the different officers who showed up, who were commanding officers. Each one started to give, I wouldn't say contradictory, but different instructions, right? Everybody should be on the field. No, keep the students where they are. Send the students to an off-site location like Mount St. Michael's. So that's why there was a little bit of confusion. Add to that, children are texting and calling their parents, and they don't know the full story because we don't know the full story, and the rumor mill starts to go, and then parents come to pick up. So there was, for those of you there was a little bit of chaos, there was a little bit of nervousness, but through it all, I have to say one thing, except for that one student who yelled run, our students were phenomenal in terms of following instructions, being reunited with their families, you know, doing what they were asked to do in order to make this happen. I just want to be, you know, open with you as to what happened and what the process was. We did finally get in the back in the building sometime after 2 o'clock, and I know that the students this morning who had already been dismissed or left were able to go to their second period class and get their bags and their belongings. Some good things that came out of this, aside from our reevaluation of our procedures, we always had a good relationship with the 47th Precinct. Now we have an excellent relationship with the 47th Precinct, which I cannot undervalue that relationship. The commanding officer, I have his personal cell phone number now, so I know if anything happens at Spelman, I can talk to the person in charge of the precinct immediately. That's only happened. I've been in Spelman for 14 years. He's only the second commanding officer, there have probably been 10 in that time, who shared that level of contact with me. We have neighboring institutions that were absolutely phenomenal to us. Split Rock Nursing Home, the YMCA, the Library on Baychester, and Mount St. Michael's Academy all opened their arms to us, opened their space to us. And really, it's just nice to know, those of you who have neighbors, you know how beautiful it is to have good neighbors. And they trusted our children in their space without question. It says a lot about our students also. We did have an assembly this morning with all of the students. Ms. Faulkner and I spoke to them. The student government leaders spoke to them and basically explained to them what I'm explaining to you now, just so they understand the sequence of events that led to that entire day. But we can assure you that we will reevaluate and share, any changes that are being made to our procedures. But I am very, very proud of the faculty, the administration, the staff for the way they juggled what was a very difficult situation that, for various reasons between the caller and the police department started to move outside our control.
Applications are now available for tax preparation and the exam itself. Visit the school website at cardinalspelman.org to learn more about the 5-week program and to schedule a seating for the exam.
Registration is also open for Spelman's second annual pickleball competition to be held here on November 3rd. Funds raised benefit for the athletic programs of the school.
Did you see the new water fountains installed in the school? For the last few years, following COVID, hand washing stations were set up all around the school. Now, some have been replaced with new water fountains featuring a water fountain spout. In addition, there is a counter showing us just how many water bottles have been saved from use.
Speaking of new, have you said hello to our new security guard, Ms. Daryl Sidbury? Make sure you welcome her when you see her walking throughout the halls during the day.
We also have new sports analysis, Kira Lima. Hi, Kira.
Thank you, LaShawn. Starting off with the boys soccer team, they're off to a strong start, winning against LaSalle, St. Ray, Kennedy's, Hayes, and St. Peter, tying against McClancy, St. Joe, and Mount St. Michael. The girls volleyball team is undergoing a quote team rebuilding year, seeing as the team hasn't been as successful as previous seasons. After winning their season opener against Scanlon, they haven't earned a win since, but hope to turn that around moving forward. As with previous sports analysts, I'll be focusing my reports on the sport I'm involved in, and that's the swim team. We're in practice mode at the moment, but our competitions will begin in October. I'm your new sports analyst, Kiara Lima, and that's your sports for today, pilots. Back to you, LaShawn and Dana.
Thanks, Kira, and welcome aboard.
Mr. Drew is back with his old Atari, asking students, have you played Atari today?
Uncle Frank, Space Invaders!
Where?
Right here, Uncle Frank.
Space Invaders is a video game cartridge you have to buy separately to play on the Atari video computer system. Your parents hook it up to the TV.
Those are supposed to be the Space Invaders you get with your missiles.
Wow!
That's it, Uncle Frank. You saved our planet.
Yeah, this time. This is the Atari video computer system. Space Invaders and other video game cartridges are each sold separately.
The key here in this game, Space Invaders, is to try and clear as many of the lower rows and then the side rows as quickly as possible. Because if you don't clear the side rows, they're going to drop down faster. And of course, if you don't clear the lower rows, the same thing happens. Eventually, these shields that you can hide behind will disappear because they will get past it. Ultimately, if you don't clear the whole field, they will land.
Cool.
How familiar are you with 80s games?
That's a lie. I've played like one other 80s game. I think it was Ping Pong, the original one.
Oh, okay. All right. So if I brought in ping pong,
No,
or
wouldn't be good.
you wouldn't be good?
Nope.
No?
No.
All right, because I'm going to bring in another slew of games for our next show, so I just wanted to get some ideas from kids what they'd be interested in. All right. When you play games, what do you like? Shoot 'em up, role playing?
I usually play something sort of I kind of play games all on the board, so all types of different games. I guess the game I play the most is it's a fighting game with like swords and stuff. It's hard to explain.
Okay.
It's very hard.
There's some 8-bit sword fighting games that you can play. All right. Well, thanks, Tristan.
All right, thank you.
Hey. All right. So that's going to do it then for this time around for Have You Played Atari Today. We'll be back soon. Take care.
Uncle Frank, Space Invaders!
Thanks, Mr. Drew.
Yes, we can Laura as a look at our weekend weather. How does homecoming look for this Saturday?
More importantly, how's Pep Rod looking for tomorrow?
Good morning, pilots. As you can see from looking out your window, it's a cloudy day, but the good news is that we'll have warm temperatures for our pep rally today. Expect highs around 77 today. The cloudy skies will continue into Saturday for our homecoming, and the temperature will drop slightly with a high of 72. The clouds finally move on Monday as sunny skies keep the temperature remain steady at 72. We start next week off with sunny skies, but the clouds and rain returns to darken the rest of the school week. That's all for now, pilots. Stay dry today and enjoy pep rally and homecoming this weekend.
Thanks, Yasmin.
So, do you plan to go to homecoming this weekend?
Homecoming, no. Pep rally, I am so excited.
What are your thoughts on that?
You know, I haven't experienced a pep rally since sophomore year.
Really?
Yeah.
That was my question. Honestly, I wasn't really sure what to expect with it, mostly because it didn't look anything like on TV. But I don't know, it was interesting.
I don't know, I feel like it's like this superb high school experience. Like, oh my gosh, we're like, oh!
You definitely sense the school spirit.
Yeah, of course.
And that's it for this week's morning fight. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page so that you're alerted when new episodes premiere on Friday mornings at 8 a.m.
Plus, keep up with all the sporting and special events here at Spelman. You don't want to miss it.
We'll be back in 2 weeks with a new team led by me, hosting a new episode of Morning Fight.
Until then, I'm Michelle Allen.
And I'm Dana Shan. Bye, High Pilots.
Sugar Mom.